garden. Then she tied up all the tomato
all
plants.
the tomato plants.
That's what my mom still does. My brother does.
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
Then at the
Pantyhose.
one point they were traveling a lot, going from like all over the place. My mom had her the handles of her suitcase tied with pantyhose so she could find them first.
Of course, makes sense, right? Very practical.
But we
I have the original suitcase when it came over, and it broke. So she tied it with a pantyhose.
101 uses.
Yeah, that's right.
Talk about resourceful.
And Nina, you were talking about how everyone laughs at you because you use the meat trays over and over.
That's my mother. Yes.
Like
yes.
the styrofoam.
Yes, the styrofoam.
The tray that the meat comes on.
Yeah, you wash it, then you put whatever chicken you want in the little places, and you freeze it, and then you have one piece at a time when you put it in Ziploc bags. See?
Mom lives on.
Yeah. And every time I do something like this, or save something, I'm thinking, oh, Mom, I really should throw it away.
We call it a Baba move. Baba's grandmother.
Baba. I had a Baba.
See?
Yes.
Baba.
Yeah.
Baba.
And socks. Could you throw your socks
Oh,
out?
she mended them with a light bulb.
At night?
Yeah, you put a light bulb into the sock.
She
You never did that?
No, I never put the light bulb in.
Yeah.
And
Because
that was
it
the
easier.
support, and then you darned the socks with the light bulb.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was
yeah.
very clever.
Oh, please.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I remember darning socks when we were younger.
Yeah.
We wouldn't just throw them out. Still to this day, if I throw out a pair of socks, I have a little guilt, I might use them as rags. I throw them in under the sink.
Oh, yeah.
The rags. I'll use them for some other purpose. But, yeah, waste not, want not. That's right.
I know. I think it's incredible that they came here with nothing, and then all of a sudden, what did she have? Like 14 grandchildren, 4 kids. Like, whoa. Yep.
All right, so you came along much later.
Much later.
And Nina told me that you were catered to. What does that mean?
I was the last one. So actually what happened
We
was...
were all adults.
Yeah, they were a lot older. So I think also, like, my mom worked, and I was told that my dad had a broken leg, right?
Oh, yeah. Painting the inside of the church Christmas Eve.
Oh, yes, because, the community had to do that. So, yes, so he took care of me for a long time because
During
he
the
couldn't
day.
work.
Who did?
My father.
Your dad with the broken leg?
Yes.
Okay.
He'd put me on the end of his crutch and
Oh.
push me around or whatever, I was told. And then my mom worked a lot, so...
She worked 2 jobs.
Yeah, so my sister raised me. I remember thinking that she was my mom because I didn't see my mom a lot.
Yeah.
Like, she came to me with, plays at school and anything.
Took her clothes shopping. Took her to wherever because I was driving. And yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Big
So,
sister.
Spoiled her rotten.
Yeah, how nice.
That's why I said, I don't remember any of this. I had the easy part until everybody moved out.
Yeah.
And then I realized what I was stuck with.
And by the time you came along and you were growing up, your family was pretty well Americanized. Maybe not?
Not in Bristol. In Bristol, the whole Venice Ashby Avenue, except for one part over there, that was all the terrace, were all Ukrainian.
Oh.
Ukrainian, Polish.
Mostly Ukrainian and Russian.
Yeah. Yeah, our neighbors in the back were. So when I went to school, Mrs. Sanko would take me, and she would translate what they would say to me, because she spoke English, and her kids did. I didn't. And she would tell me, like, and I remember her taking me to the library and them trying to, George and all of you guys, trying to teach me to read because it made no sense to me. I couldn't read Ukrainian, but they're like PH's and F sound.
Right.
Are you crazy?
Right.
Like,
there's so many inconsistencies.
I had a real hard...
language.
Yes.
They say it's the hardest to
It
learn.
is the hardest
was
to
hard.
I can guarantee you, it is the hardest.
I remember crying in kindergarten because knowing...
In the Ukrainian, even though it's
every letter
Cyrillic letters, every letter is pronounced. And
Same way.
Yes.
Every time.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's no spelling.
Yeah.
There's no spelling test because every letter is written.
Right.
Every letter is pronounced.
And there's only one word for that item. There's not there, and there.
And it's there's
there.
a female and male version.
That's
but,
right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, whoa, English?
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember crying in kindergarten. I remember Mom and Dad saying that they had to speak English in the house so I'd learn it.
Yeah.
That was like a no-no in our house. You never spoke English in the house.
Okay. I was wrong.
Never.
You were not Americanized.
No way.
So you went to public
No.
school, I guess.
I went to public school,
Yeah.
but there was a Ukrainian American social club in Bristol that my father used to bartend at. And my mom worked nights, so my father would take me in there and he bartended, and dinner was like Slim Jims and it was great. It was great. So I can tell you, like, one time in school they asked me what went well with orange juice. And I said vodka. Yeah, they didn't like that. But anyway, so all of those people were Ukrainian, and there was a lot of Ukrainians.
But
in
they
Bristol.
were already in American. You know?
Yes.
Right.
Ukrainian American Social Club. Right.
But they were speaking English really well, and they were more because they immigrated
before,
much earlier than we did. Okay. Say their parents immigrated in the 20s, or the 30s. So mostly in the 20s. So they already grew up here, even though they were maybe my parents' age.
Right.
They were already into the American way, as speak.
Right.
And we used to have to take Ukrainian dancing lessons there.
Oh, cool.
All three of us when we were real little.
Yeah.
And did you wear the garb?
Oh yeah,
Costumes?
absolutely. We had performances. There was a choir, I think, like all sorts of things. You went to church and you went there. So, there we go.
Oh, well, I'm going to show this on camera, but here it is. Who's in this picture?
Not me.
Nina, are you in
Is it me? Yeah, here I am, right here on the
Nina
end.
is on the end.
And our parents would make all that stuff.
Yeah, my mother made all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know what? We weren't Americanized. We were cloistered in the Ukrainian society.
Well, it was great that you had such a tight community, though. Think of all the traditions you have. What were some of those?
Oh my gosh. I remember Easter taking Beth Price, one of my friends from when we moved to Marsville, to Easter Mass. Ours was at midnight. It was at midnight. All night. You brought huge Easter baskets, and after Mass, like a big Easter basket, and you had all this food in it, kielbasi after Lent, paskas, which is like a big bread, and all. And then you went out into the outside, and in the dark, and he would bless all of the baskets. And she's like, wait, Easter's it starts at midnight. We'll be done around 4. And then
she still went with you?
She went with me. She was American. She thought it was like, whoa. And our churches, though, are just so ornate and gorgeous with the icons. Yeah, so that's different. Then you came home and you ate.
You ate. You didn't go to bed.
You ate everything.
And then you went to bed.
Yep. And then you got up in the morning and it was Easter morning. And then you started with something else. Yeah. So different traditions. Being Orthodox, I used to have to take off on January 7th because it was our Christmas.
Right.
Yeah. I always thought it was because we got good sales. Half the price on everything for ours. And Christmas trees were free,
Yes.
So
I can remember living in Bristol. I have a story that it was snow. They wouldn't pay for a Christmas tree.
Nope.
And then it snowed so bad before Christmas, in January, right before Christmas. My father said, "Go get a Christmas tree." But it's snowing. He goes, "Go get a Christmas tree." My brother Bill and I in Bristol walking to Route 13 where they were selling Christmas trees, and just took a Christmas tree because they were all piled up, dragging in the snow back home so we could put up a Christmas tree.
You just took it?
Because it was after Christmas.
It was after Christmas. They were
always getting rid of them.
They were getting rid of them.
It took me a while to get it.
Yeah, they were getting rid of them.
Okay.
Easter was the same thing.
Yeah.
Easter was usually a week after American Easter.
Yeah.
So, you'd get all the candy and whatever else, half price.
Oh, yeah.
I
Nothing
remember
like
that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But the best part about it is, like, even Easter, when you came back, you had all this wonderful food.
Great food.
And
The
Christmas.
food, I know.
And Christmas, it wasn't Christmas Day that was the holiday. It was Christmas Eve.
Right.
You ate the special food.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me...
Yes.
Well, okay, I can break that one. I never liked any other special food.
You probably picture people,
I like
your mom
kucha.
making it.
Oh gosh, our house always smelled like borscht. I remember
I love borscht.
I remember coming home from dance in Bristol that was on Friday nights was the lessons and walking in and I wasn't a fan. I'm like, ugh, it smells like borscht in here. And you ate it all week as like the first course was borscht.
We always had a soup, some kind of a soup.
To begin with.
It was summer, winter, spring, or fall. It didn't make any difference.
And there was different Ukrainian soups though.
That's another
Right.
way of being resourceful.
Right.
You have the chicken for dinner.
Right.
And then you make the soup.
Yep.
And you use
Yeah.
that meat in the soup. And
But in the summer, it was like a cheval soup, which sorrel. I had no idea. Yep. I had no idea. One
It's
of my
sour.
favorite
It's
soups.
sour.
It took me until I was 32 to figure out that sorrel was cheval.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
do you make it now?
I have made it.
Yeah.
Just because I like it. But I don't like and then
I
there
don't
was
like borscht.
borscht. Yeah.
We don't.
We had winter borscht, summer borscht, cold borscht.
Oh
like,
my gosh.
yes.
So do you still celebrate the Ukrainian Orthodox
Yes.
holidays?
Yes, I do. With my family, yeah. It's not as elaborate as my mom would have it, but I do. I do. I bring my family in, and they. It's a funny thing. They'll always say, my family will always say, "What time for Easter?" And so they enjoyed it too. It's a part of who we are.
Right.
I just try to go to church on those days just because the music is so just awesome. The whole I could stand in church and not listen to anything but just look at the paintings and find
Everything
something
is so
new
I know.
every time. And our church was just redone. They brought Greeks in and they did the whole entire church in icons, so it's all new.
Are you talking about St. George's?
Yes, out in Yorkville. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
It is.
It's gorgeous. And it's really astounding that it still goes on. A lot of those people that I went to Ukrainian school are now on the foundation boards and all that. Not me, but they are. So yeah, it still lives on.
It's like a place you can go and feel like you're home.
Place that I could go and know where I came from.
Yeah.
Stepping back in time and remembering that this is where I came from.
Right.
These are my roots.
Knowing your history and the struggles and victories of your parents, how does that now impact your lives?
Okay, I can answer that very easily. If they can do it, I can do it. It gives me strength. It gives me, and to know that they went through something that I'll never even understand. Okay, because I didn't live that kind of a life. But if they can do this, the little thing that the things that I think are so big are really little, and I can handle them. I can get through this because they showed me how to do it.
What a great lesson.
Yeah, absolutely. And it has. I honestly, it sustains me. It sustains me. I sometimes I do get a little bit angry at them because I couldn't be just like the rest of the world.
Oh yeah.
My friends were. But with age comes this thing that they did what they thought was important.
Right.
And it's fine.
Right.
Yeah.
They did the best they could.
Yeah.
The very best.
Oh yeah. Well,
Yes.
I never had to worry about anything. They provided for me constantly. Not what I wanted, but what they thought I needed, and that's what I got. I never had to worry about a bed, clothes, food. No way. No way.
It might have been hand-me-downs. Might have been homegrown.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That was the way.
Well, it was.
Yeah, hand-me-downs, homegrown.
Friends would come to visit, and they had girls that were already...
Bag of clothes.
I got a bag of clothes. I got new clothes. I always considered them new clothes.
Yeah, we still did that.
Yeah.
Because my mother always made mine.
Yeah, she sewed and
all the time. Yeah.
She was a seamstress too.
Oh yeah.
Wow. How about you, Luba?
I think it just makes me grateful for being here. I know what they went through. And sometimes I just can't believe that the world still goes through the same things that over and over. Wars, how many times don't we learn the lesson? Me personally, my family went through all that. I really am astounded at the fact that I think my father, born in 1913, his whole growing up years never ever had a normal childhood. Right. There was a famine, there was wars, there was a revolution. It's like, what?
And then losing his family.
Lost his family. And like we were saying, we think that my dad had survivor's guilt.
Yes.
Not, all the time, I don't even know how to put it. Why am I here and they're not?
Yeah.
Not having any... You came from this huge family to be the only survivor. It's like an only child.
Right.
And an orphan at a young age.
You could tell that there was deep down hurt somewhere. You don't know what it was.
And I didn't know about it.
Because he did not talk about it. The only reason I know some of these things is my mother shared them.
Right.
He told her and she shared it with us. I can't even imagine watching your family going through that.
No.
Exactly.
And then having to live that every single day.
Right. And does knowing this about your family give you more of an understanding and appreciation for other groups in the world?
Oh, absolutely.
And what they're going through, even to this day?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
People are running from, not because they think that United States is such a wonderful place to live in. They're running from like the South America because they're getting tortured. They're getting killed.
Yes.
They're desperate. They want hope. Just like our parents were desperate. They could have gone back to the Ukraine and there would have been none of us.
Right.
They could have been murdered.
Yeah.
They could have been shot.
They would have
And
been,
it's the same thing. These people are looking for a better life. No different.
Right.
So.
And I always think when I see people who are different, I try to make them feel more comfortable too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because, like you went through such a hard time trying to get acclimated into, the American system.
The thing that still to this day gets me is how people could be so cruel. And I was white. I was no different than anybody else, but yet people knew I was a DP. And they called me that. And some of them would even spit at you. And I couldn't, I just can't understand how people could be like that.
I can't either.
And to this day, it's still the same way.
It is.
That's why people just usually end up with their own people in their own community because that's their support system.
Right.
When you go out of it, they look at you like you're an oddball.
Yes.
And I think it's the same with a lot of different places. Chinatown, they have their Koreaville, all that.
Right.
People stay amongst themselves because they're understood.
Yeah, because they all go through the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even being a melting pot, there's still so much prejudice that I just can't get over it. So, my view.
I know, I know.
You know what? I think that even through all of that and what they went through, there was still a lot of humor in our house. I mean, we did laugh a lot, and it was
Still
a lot
do.
of, and we still do, and a lot of times it's at each other.
Oh,
you
yes.
know, like we made fun of my brother. My brother George had a real hard time in Ukrainian school. He never got anything right. We used to tease him to this day.
Aww.
You know, we tease him about his Ukrainian. He was the one who always wanted to be so American that he wasn't going to speak Ukrainian, you know. But, I mean, I think that there was a lot of happiness. I think that we grew up, like you said, well-fed and humored. My father had what a good sense of humor.
Yes, he did.
Throughout it all, he had a really funny sense of humor.
Yeah, he did.
You know, so all that suffering and all that pain, he could still enjoy life. And now he had his dark moments.
Oh, yeah.
Trust me, he had his dark moments. But throughout all of it, I still remember him laughing and having a good time. And yeah,
My father was a musician.
That too.
Yes,
I didn't know
he
that.
played I have his balalaika over there.
Mandolin.
Okay.
That's a balalaika.
That's a mandolin.
Oh, let me go get it.
My father's mandolin. He's self-taught musician. He could play any stringed instrument. He was a marvelous violin player. Wherever we went, when we lived in Newark, they made sure that he brought his mandolin and his violin, and they would sing up a storm.
Especially after a couple shots of vodka.
Yeah,
What could they
yeah.
say?
But it didn't
they
take
like their
much.
vodka. I know
Yes.
when I was there.
But they loved to sing. I can remember growing up. I mean, that I remember. Even in Bristol, he would bring it out and play, and music has been a very big part of my life.
Okay, so you're musically talented as well.
Well, I love to sing, and that's due to my father. My father used to drag me to church, choir rehearsals, at 2 years old. By the time I was 6 years old, I knew how to the whole mass, Ukrainian mass,
Wow,
and I could sing it for you.
amazing.
So yeah, and he saw that talent in me, and he brought it out.
Yeah.
To this day, I still sing in different organizations, Capital Singers in Trenton,
Nice. Oh, I didn't know that.
in the choir in St. John's.
Okay.
I mean in Incarnation. I cantored. I've done
Can I
different
see that?
different. Yeah.
How old
It's
is
a little
that?
different.
Well, it's from Germany.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
So 2 suitcases and 1 mandolin.
Yeah, and a
Does he
violin.
fit this in?
So what? Did he put this back on probably? My father was Rube Goldberg. Let me tell you, he could fix anything with
Yeah,
something.
I believe it.
The original
I also
MacGyver.
want to show a picture that you showed me earlier of the stroller that he put the stroller.
Stop. Come here.
Just so industrious. I just have so much respect for
When my father,
Yeah.
wherever my father would work, he would find, like when he worked for a Goodall Rubber Company, they made hose, plastic hose. Our whole house in Bristol was with plastic hose all
my
over the
gosh.
place.
piping.
So he found a
PVC
use
piping.
for it.
Oh, he found
my
a use for
gosh.
everything. Oh my
That
goodness.
is
My
funny.
basement. I live in the house that my mom and dad bought in Marsville. My mother remarried and I bought the house. Our whole basement is tiled in Robertson tile.
Oh, that's right. They worked. Both of them worked.
Both
there.
of them worked there. So you brought
For
a
years.
lunch pail. You know, my father would have a sandwiches, whatever, in a thermos. And then he ate that and then he'd put in tile. Whatever tile was going to the dump, he would put in his
Oh
lunchbox.
my gosh.
It is the most mismatched mosh thing of ever in my basement, but resourceful. Guess what? We were in the flood. I didn't get water through the walls. I got it through the pipe system underneath because I've got Robertson tile.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So yeah, you use what
That's
you got,
amazing.
I suppose, you know?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why you use those styrofoam things.
Right, right. Boy, we could just go all day.
Oh, yes,
with
yes, we
these
could. We
stories.
could.
We
But I
could.
do need to start cutting
course.
it short. But I do have my signature question. If you could both say something nice or true about your parents, that's the first one.
They work together in everything. In everything. I mean, my mother made decisions, but everything was made together. They were truly remarkable in that fact. When they made up their mind they were going to do this, my father didn't have to worry about anything. He would do his job, and my mother would do her part. Always,
Very
always.
nice. And what a
Yeah.
great example
Yes, yes,
for all of you.
yes.
How about you, Luba?
I'm glad that towards the end, I think both of them had a nice, comfortable life, especially my mother. My mom got to travel after she remarried, and she traveled, and one of the first things that they did, she would not go back to Europe or the Ukraine because she had my father's last name and always feared that he was wanted.
Yes.
So when she remarried, she changed her name to his name. And the first place that my stepdad took her was back to the farm where she worked when she was a teenager in Germany. Yeah. Okay. And the woman that she was friends with and was still there. The daughter.
The son was, no.
The son.
The son. She had passed.
She had passed, but her son was there.
So and he knew
who she was.
He knew who she was.
Of course,
yeah, so I think...
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think that, you know what, I'm glad to see that almost went full circle.
Yeah.
My mom actually went back after 50 years to see her sister.
Right.
Her mom had passed, her brother had passed, but her sister was still there. Yeah. And then they actually got a car in Germany and had a tombstone made and drove it from Germany to where my grandmother and my mom's family and put a tombstone up in the cemetery. Yeah. So I think towards the end, I think she realized how lucky she was to be here. And I'm glad that she had a comfortable and beautiful life. You know, I think that she realized that everything that they went through to come here, that in the end, she had everything she wanted. I don't know so much about Dad. He died when I was pretty young, but...
Right. You were, what, 14?
I was 16. I was a senior in high school. I think I was 16. Yeah. But you know what? I think even for him, they were comfortable. It wouldn't have been the same if they had been where they were.
Right.
Like, if there had been not the war or any of that, we would have had a huge family. But instead, you know what? We have what we have. But, yeah, I think I'm glad that they had a nice, restful life towards the end of their life.
Right.
You know? My sister took care of my mom for a long time. So,
yeah. I bought this house so I could take care of her. Because she was very sick.
Yeah. So
and you were a big part of that too, right?
I got her a lot on weekends. I was babysitting on the weekends. Yeah, just to give her a break.
Yeah.
You know, to give my mom a break. And my mom loved coming over to my house. She'd just sit on the deck in the sun with this big huge hat and be like, just leave me alone. She was fine. But it was nice, you know. It was nice having her close for the first time.
Yes.
Because they were 25 years in Virginia. We didn't see them much.
Right. And she lived on a farm. Right?
Huge.
Yeah.
You didn't show the picture where I was born.
Oh, where she was born.
Oh, okay. Well, I can show it in the video, definitely. In the castle.
In my castle.
Definitely. I will definitely show that. That's amazing. Yeah. And lastly, can you each tell me something nice or true about yourself?
I am who I am because of my parents. I enjoy music. My mother taught me to sew. I do cross stitching. I sewed for years, and I can't with arthritis. So all those things who they were, I am now. I got both of them.
Yeah.
I got the music and I got the resourcefulness from my mother. Yeah, that's You know what? This is really good because it really gives me. I had to dig deep inside to bring that up.
Yes.
Really? It's who I am.
I feel that these interviews are like breakthrough moments for people. Where you really have to think about the answers.
Absolutely.
And you develop an appreciation for yourself and your parents.
Right. Well, I always knew that they gave it to me, but I don't think I really understood it.
Right. Or verbalized
it so I could hear it in myself. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, don't forget about the styrofoam trays.
Okay, Luba, how about you? Your last question.
Nice about myself.
Something nice or true about yourself.
I think every day that I walk into work, there's big, huge glass double doors there, and I look in the reflection every single day, and I think, boy, are you your mother? I am the spitting image. I am the spitting image of my mother. Yes. I have had people stop me, and my mother's been gone for like 7 years, and go, "You must be Catherine's daughter." Yes, I am.
Wow.
So that, and I think what I really miss is hearing her say, "Baby, where's baby?" And then I show up because I will always be baby. And now, you know what? Nobody calls me baby. So I miss that.
Yeah.
We were at a big party one time. Remember for my stepfather's 80th birthday. They had at the German American Club, which they were big too because they grew up in Germany basically. That they went there. My mother says, "You have to meet baby," and she goes, "Baby, baby," and I walk over and this guy goes, "What? You're what?" And I'm like, "I'm baby."
And you loved it.
Yeah, but I think every single day I am reminded of my mother because I look like her. I act like her.
Yeah.
I find myself
It's amazing. It's amazing how those things carry on.
It's genetics, let me tell you.
Genetics and behaviors.
Yep.
You know?
It's scary. I look in the mirror and I'm going, I've become my mother.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But even to the point, like, we did the kitchen, like, took all the cabinets down. I'm thinking I would have never done this if I didn't see my mother trying to fix something or do something, or my father, we got this, you know? And I think, well, you know what? How hard could it be?
Right. You can figure it out.
I could
and if
figure
you
it
can't
out.
figure it out, there's always YouTube.
Yes.
I love you too.
Oh, I
Yep.
know you can learn anything on there.
Yes.
Yep.
Anything.
Yeah.
And you can also go to my show. Yes, go to youtube.com and search Just Us Grown Up Girls and you'll find it. And if you subscribe, that will be even better.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much, Nina and Luba. And
My pleasure.
I think,
You're welcome. My pleasure.
I think this will be very interesting and inspiring and heartwarming for a lot of people. And maybe they will study their own families a little more and go a little deeper. So thank you.
Thank you, Ruth.
Okay.
Love you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you learned a few things from this special guest. Remember, we all have gifts to use and share. My purpose is to invite you to take some action on the ideas and inspiration of each woman to make a difference in your own life and on those around you. Please like the Facebook page and subscribe and ring the bell on YouTube. I know it's so annoying to find that darn password, but then you'll get a whole catalog of the Just Us Grown Up Girls interviews. Thank you, and I truly appreciate you.